diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Josh Butler, who's a defensive back out of Michigan State, who's a free agent. How's it going, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well. So I mentioned you as a free agent because you're really not in this draft class. I'm assuming you came out last year. Why don't you go ahead and just kind of talk to us a little bit about your overall career, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I've been at Michigan State since 2015. Graduated in 2019 with my master's and everything from Michigan State. Just been able to play and get my first start back in 2017, and then been in rotation all the way up through 2018 and have a full start position through 2019. Being very successful with that. Also been able to play corner, nickel, safety, been all over the place on the field. Just been able to have my name and my spot everywhere.
Cool. So, I mean, like you had mentioned, being a corner / safety. So, I mean, we should probably just introduce you as a defensive back or even an athlete, as some people like to call it. What do you believe is like the best thing that you bring to the table as a player? I mean, maybe one of your better attributes.
I'm very physical, not afraid to tackle at all. Then also, like I mentioned, I'm also being able to play different positions. So my knowledge on the football field increases significantly. Being able to play corner, safety, nickel, anywhere I'm needed, I'm there. Also having like long arms, playing press man in our zone, came from that cover four base type of defense. So we played a lot of man, or we played a lot of cover four type of things. And then also playing in the Big Ten, you get the matchup against a lot of great receivers. And so me being able to go up against high level guys who are currently in the league right now just shows to go, that I'm high up there, being able to everybody.
So, I mean, you mentioned there for just a second that you've actually matched up against some great receivers. List a few of those guys that you've actually, had the opportunity to match up against.
Brandon Ayuk, he was playing for the 49ers now. Frank Darby, those guys. N'Keal Harry, he's also one of the guys. Pretty much all of Arizona State guys. They're making it right now, and we had a lot of good receivers from Indiana. Was like Whop Phillier, and just a bunch of different number guys who. Chase Claypool a long time ago. It was when we played Notre Dame. And, just guys like that.
Cool. Well, I mean, I don't know if you can notice from the background, but I'm somewhat of a Washington fan. And we ended up stealing Terry McLaurin, a couple years back. I mean, you ever get a chance to match up against him?
No, I never got to play against him.
No. Well, I mean, you guys were in the same, conference. So, I mean, I kind of figured, it's a possibility. I mean, obviously, Big Ten is some great football up in there. I mean, playing against the Ohio States and the Penn States. You always get, a lot of great athletes in that conference. So, figured I'd just, double check, see if you were able to, go to head to head with some of those guys. So, I guess probably the biggest question that a lot of people want to know is what you've been doing, man. I mean, you're a free agent. Did you get any sort of, opportunities like after like last year, whenever that season was over with? Can you just kind of fill me in a bit?
Yeah, I did not get any opportunities whatsoever. Like before the drafts, I got a few calls here and there from teams checking in on me. But after that, I did not get any opportunities. But I have been working drastically towards football a lot. I've attended the CGS camp down in Texas, and I attended Jimmy Kimball's camp in Indianapolis. And then just recently had my pro day at Michigan State. So just continuously working towards football, doing whatever I possibly can. I know since the pandemic, I moved out here to California, which a lot of gyms and everything are pretty much closed until just recently, that everything started opening up like 3 weeks ago. But still being able to actively go and find the football field to work on, send my tapes to my coaches, just to get input or feedback from, just constantly going out there and being self-disciplined and being able to go out there every single day and chase my football dream, knowing that it's really hard now, especially me being out a year, just having that strong mindset to not give up and knowing that other people are also willing to help me, especially if they see that I'm working towards my football career.
Great. I mean, and you were mentioning again that you were able to do a pro day this year. I believe you guys were one of the clubs that didn't get a chance to do your pro day last year, right? Like, because you figure last year, that's when this whole like pandemic thing just kind of hit everybody and the world decided to, shut down. So pandemic hits, everything is shut down, really throwing a curveball at a whole lot of people trying to figure out, how they're going to make this thing work. And you have guys like yourself who, you didn't get an opportunity to do that pro day. So you had that pro day this year. They allowed you to come back and do that. How do you think you did during that pro day?
I think I did really well. Was able to run really smooth. I did pretty good in the drills. Only thing about that is just being able to stay a little bit lower in my drills, and that's pretty much about it. Other than that, I feel as though I did well enough to gain attention from other scouts. Hopefully, to hear something from them soon, and just take everything that I'm able to do and go and keep working towards that, which I know I'm able to do, and then just it's simple stuff that I can fix. But other than that, everybody said I look good, I look smooth, ran really well, and I'm just just being able to display my skills for scouts.
Great. So let's sit back and just talk about your playing days a little bit. I mean, again, you said that you came into Michigan State and ended up. Did you redshirt that first year? I mean, how did that work?
Yeah, I redshirted my freshman year.
Okay, so you came in and you redshirt, and then obviously you're working yourself into the rotation a little bit. Tell me a little bit. I don't know. Share like your most memorable moment as a football player. Maybe your best game, or maybe anything that you really want to share as maybe something. Hey, that's the tape that I got to turn on and see you work. So, what's been like your best moment out there on the football field?
Man, we done had a lot. Just our defense. Our defense is really, really good. I think that the game where we broke the school record. It was versus Tulsa, I believe, and we broke the school record for they had negative 50 some yards rushing, and we broke that record, and we didn't even know until afterwards that they told us. But we had a lot of fun, especially that being my senior year game, first last game is what people say when we're seniors. We really had a lot of fun on the field, and we left it out. A bunch of just everybody's making plays. I ended up getting the safety for everybody. It was just really fun, and being able to remember that game. And like I said, I was all over the place on the field, playing corner, nickel, a bit of safety. I played all three of those in that game as well. So just having that and being able to go out there with my guys, it was fun.
Cool. So, I mean, obviously 2019, had a lot of great moments there. I mean, again, that game was against Tulsa. So people want to turn on that game. Obviously, looking at guys like yourself, just having the game of your life. So that definitely sounds like a whole lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, great game there. Part of your, I guess history really, even though it was a year prior to that, I believe, it was cut short a little bit, wasn't it? I mean, tell me about that. It was 2018 that you had that injury, right? Walk me through that adversity and really how you overcame it.
Yeah. I was a junior, my redshirt junior year, and I was actually playing really well, and I worked really hard that whole entire summer to be able to go and get that and earn that starting position fully. And my first 3 games, went out there and balled out, and the coaches were loving me. The whole team was, loving me and everything. And then I ended up hurting my knee it was the fourth quarter versus Indiana, and this is the reason why I don't like Indiana no more. But I ended up hurting my knee against Indiana, and I sat out for like 7 games because it ended up being my PCL, and so I tried to work through it, but my knee would like swell up really bad, and so I wasn't able to get like the full motion, which is and run as fast and make certain cuts and stuff like that on my knee. So I had to sit out those games in order to recover. But I did end up coming back and playing against Oregon in that bowl game. I played pretty good in the bowl game as well, so I didn't have too much issues with it after that. But other than that, that's the main reason why I was able to sit out. But before that, I was really, really balling out my first couple of games.
Yeah, and I think again, just to kind of recap a little bit, that was back in 2018, and 2019. I'm assuming you started that whole season, right? So you went out there in 2019, started, did well, was very versatile, moved around a little bit, corner safety wherever you were needed. So again, that knee is healthy. So and obviously you were able to go out in your pro day, run fairly well. What was your 40 during that pro day, just so that we can tell the people watching this video? How fast were you able to run?
I ran a 4.45.
Ran a 4.45. Well, I mean, I know that guys, if you've got some knee problems, I mean, that 4.45 would be probably fairly difficult. But I mean, obviously, running a 4.45, definitely showed that you're healthy enough to move around. So love that from you. I was going to ask you this one question, being my next question. So I want you to give yourself a little bit of advice. I mean, let's give advice to your younger self, maybe back in high school, prepare him for the next 4 or 5 years. What sort of advice would you tell him?
My younger self in high school, I'll tell him gain weight, because I was little in high school. I was like 145 or something like that. I was really small in high school, but I was fast. Texas guys, it was always fast. Also be more involved with other sports, because I know a lot of things, especially like different field positions and track, like get more involved in like long jump or something like that, to help me increase, just hip mobility, hip explosion, stuff like that, just small stuff like that. Just get involved in more sports, or like basketball or something like that, instead of just only doing football and track, which is the main thing that I really focused on in high school. But other than that, that's what I would tell my younger self, because I feel as though if I was able to do those, I'll be able to have crazy, ridiculous numbers, jumping 50 verticals or something. But other than that, as a young kid, I just tell myself to stay active with all the sports. And I was always a good kid in high school, so that part was not an issue. But other than that, that's why I'll tell my younger self.
Great. And what about now? I mean, I kind of want you to take a minute. I mean, I know it's been a while since you've played, but I mean, how would you critique yourself right now? I mean, obviously, you're working, which is great. You're still pushing towards that one goal, but what are you working on right now? Like, is there any part of your game that you've been trying to get better at that hopefully you can prove to scouts that you have gotten better over the years?
Yeah, I know I had some issues when I was playing with like just being overly aggressive with my hands. So just working on hands and technique to be able to stay and cut off people. Constantly working on that, and then also just being able to just staying knowledgeable, because I haven't played in a year, but I do have access to film, so being able to go watch film, watch old highlights, just staying knowledgeable attached to the game, because that part is very crucial to the game. Just being able to know what you're doing, knowing where receivers line up, just keeping that constantly refreshed in my mind, just in case my name does get called and I go into camp and I don't know what I'm doing. Instead of like being like, oh, I got to relearn this, I got to relearn cover two, I got to relearn, stuff like that. Just small things that turn to a big impact on the field. Taking things that you don't have to do on the field, like you learn in the classroom, to incorporate it to the field. So just doing those, and then just working on, like I said, mostly technique. You got to keep those refreshed. Hip mobility, just small stuff like that.
Great. And so let's just take a moment, step outside of sports for a little bit, kind of get to know who Josh Butler is outside of a football player. So tell me just a little bit about you, any of your hobbies, interests, things that you're passionate about, anything that you want to share with the people so that they get to know who you are, just outside of sports.
Yeah, definitely. I got a lot of that. First and foremost, let me see my kids. Come here, Remy. Come here, man. I got my babies with me. I keep them with me at all times. Come on, introduce yourself. Come on. This is Remy. They're
All
both
right.
girls. This is Remy, and she's the youngest one that I have. And we pretty much do a lot of things together, as far as like being able to help out with like Pitbull Advocate of America, just bringing more awareness towards dogs and shelters, and just being actively with that as well. And that's a small hobby that I do, but also try to stay deeply involved with everything, as far as like I also became an ambassador for cancer, just people with all types of cancer, being able to help out with that. Just last Christmas was able to raise over 200 plus toys for kids with cancer, or their parents with cancer who were not able to have a certain type of Christmas or something like that. So I was able to work with that and then give back to the community. So it's always about giving back. To me, it's always about giving back and being able to be deeply involved with people who don't have as much help, because I know I didn't have as much help. I also, love music, and I've made one song before, and I got that all social media platforms. It's on, Apple Music and Spotify and everything. So I love music. I'm deeply involved into music. And then what I went to school for, which is media and information, which is production and acting. And so that's what I've been doing a lot of out here in California. Just being able to produce, work on commercials, TV shows, movies. And a lot of those people know who I am. And I always tell them I got to go training before I go to work, something like that. And they're very lenient with all of that stuff, especially knowing my situation. It's just pretty much I'm able to build a relationship with those people, telling them I can go to training. They're like, whenever you're done, just come in, type of thing. So they're very lenient with that, and I appreciate that, to being able to have that opportunity to be able to encrypt football, and then also do what I was able to go to school for. And so that's what I like to do. Other than that, I'm pretty much laid back guy. I don't really do much else but take my dogs to the dog park, go have fun, and just being the motivation, being the inspiration to a lot of young kids. Because I know a lot of people say they look up to me, and I try to reach out to a lot of people who reach back to me in any way I can possibly help. If they have questions on how to make it from college, from high school to college, or classes or something like that, I can gladly help them out with. So I've just been able to just do that and just, genuinely be a good person.
Great. I mean, it sounds like you got a lot going on. I mean, I think it's very interesting how you're out in California now, and who knows? I mean, maybe you get a decent acting job, be like the next face of whatever. That would be fun. But I mean, obviously, we're going to try our best to get your name out there to a lot of football people as well. I do also think it's great that you're doing a lot of other things like within your community. Obviously, the stuff with pit bulls and stuff. That's just a great thing to kind of get your hands into. So definitely appreciate that. Josh, I want you to close this out and tell everybody maybe why they should take a chance on you, and kind of give you the opportunity to come into their franchise and really be a part of them. So tell them again a little bit about yourself and what you would bring to the table.
Yeah, I'm a big physical corner. I'm able to play any position, doesn't matter where you put me at. Any special teams does not matter whatsoever. Fast, quick, easy to learn. Able to absorb knowledge and encrypt that into the field. And then not only that, I'm a great guy to be around. Always, positive vibes. Been able to just have fun, and just like I said, I just love the game of football. I just want to be able to continue that and being able to have a chance, especially considering the situation that I was able to be in, unfortunately due to the pandemic and everything. Just want to be able to have my chance and opportunity to show everybody that I'm still involved with football. I still want to be able to play football.
Right. I mean, obviously a guy that's driven, really working hard. I know you got a lot going on, and I wish you best of luck with everything you got going on, man. I mean, it sounds like you got your hands in a lot of pots, but I do feel like, again, hopefully the team would take a chance on you. Maybe give them a call. I mean, where can they find you on social media? Can you kind of plug your social media stuff real quick?
Yeah, everything is Josh Butler TV. You can find me on there. I have a lot of my videos and stuff posted for football on there as well. But yeah, it's all at Josh Butler TV.
Gotcha. And you said that you had a song out there too. What kind of songs are you writing?
Yeah, I go for more so of an R&B gospel type of vibe. So it's pretty clean. So I keep it like that. Just pretty much and everything. Yeah.
Gotcha. Can I find that like on like if I were to search up your name, Josh Butler, or you have like an alias that you go by?
Yeah, it's by Josh Butler. It's Josh Butler. It's called Closer. It's with Elise featuring my name on there. I gave her the credit to put it on there. I just told her I'd be a feature.
Cool.
But yeah, you can find that on anywhere pretty much. YouTube.
All right,
well, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely something to check out. I mean, again, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Again, we got Josh Butler here. He's a defensive back who's really working hard. Played his college games at Michigan State. Definitely check him out.